Live from our Kwacha studios in Blantyre, we bring you the latest edition of MBC News with me, Kingsley Mtila, alongside Lynn Lemponda, my sign language interpreter tonight. Our top stories. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera inaugurates Creator Building with renewed hope that the center will conduct relevant research that provides solutions to Malawi's health challenges. Malawi First suspends planned demonstrations against tax stamps. And government formulating a child labor policy aimed at addressing emerging challenges affecting children. Good evening and thank you for joining us. And now to our top story. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has officially inaugurated the Clinical Research Excellence and Training Open Resource Creator Building with renewed hope that the center will conduct relevant research that will inform policy and provide solutions to Malawi's health challenges. Dr. Chakwera said the era of designing development programs without research and relying on guesswork was over. Kumbukani Piri reports.
The Clinical Research Excellence and Training Open Resource Creator Building has officially been opened amidst pomp and celebration, with President Chakwera officially cutting the ribbon, signifying its official inauguration. After opening this magnificent building, Dr. Chakwera appreciated construction works of KUHES administrative block within the campus. In his speech, President Chakwera said he was happy that his wish of having strong research-led institutions was becoming a reality. He therefore urged the institution to maximize its full potential by carrying out relevant research that answers some of Malawi's health challenges.
I therefore want to emphasize the need to maximize this research facility that we have launched. By that I mean that I want the facility of this university to treat the Creator facility like a national service by focusing on research areas that add value to the problem-solving activities we are engaged in as a nation. And when I saw the themes and have them explained to me, I am pretty positive that that is what is needed. In other words, I want you to have a mindset similar to that of a tech company that spends billions in research and development, because one of the major mindset shifts that we need in our academic institutions is to start considering all research as incomplete if it is not tied to development.
However, Dr. Chakwera said he was disheartened that Malawi had become a haven for fake medical drugs. He said this was deplorable. Dr. Chakwera went on to challenge the Ministry of Education to ensure that it monitors the flourishing of substandard tertiary institutions that are not accredited.
I expect the Ministry of Education to do more to track down and deal with diploma mills that prey on young people by operating without accreditation in this country. It is our constitutional duty as government to enforce the law and uphold standards in order to protect Malawian citizens from exploitation. Minister, I'm directing you to ensure that anyone wanting to start a tertiary institution in this country does not do so without passing certain qualifying standards through the ministry, so that we are not trying to fix a problem of poor education standards when the schools have already started running substandard programs.
Speaking earlier, Vice-Chancellor of the Kamuzu University of Health Sciences, KUHES, Professor Macpherson Malewa, disclosed that construction of a new office complex at KUHES was a significant step that will ensure provision of quality education. He also touched on the construction of the $50 million Kamuzu Hospital City in Chileka and the pharmaceutical company at Kameza as key projects that will take off soon and will be of huge significance to Malawi's health sector. Professor Malewa says currently the institution needs 10 billion kwacha for land compensation for the project to kickstart. The Clinical Research Excellence and Open Resource Creator Building of the Malawi Liverpool Welcome Program has been built on the premise of promoting clinical research in Malawi. The 5-story building houses state-of-the-art laboratory facilities, innovation hub for health research, and high-speed e-library that will provide for interaction with global health experts and also promote postgraduate studies. The centre has been strategically located adjacent to Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital and the KUHES. Kumbukani Piri, NBC News, Blantyre.
Malawi will present its position paper on Sustainable Development Goals, performance and other 4 thematic areas at the forthcoming UN Summit of the Future in USA in September this year. Minister of Foreign Affairs Nancy Tembo said this in Lilongwe at the end of a high-level national consultative workshop on the United Nations Summit. Austin Fukula has for this report, read by Yamikani Simtoe.
During the workshop, government officials, public and private sector organizations and UN agencies banged their heads on 5 priority areas, namely youth and future generations, science, innovation and technology, financing sustainable development goals, international peace and security, and good governance that will form the position paper to be presented in September this year on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in the United States. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Nancy Tembo, said the summit will help Malawi to realign its efforts towards achieving sustainable development goals, science, innovation, and youth participation in development. The minister said the fact that the world is at 17% on achieving 2030 SDGs, there's need to realign efforts because Malawi is not on the right track due to lack of financing of the SDGs projects.
What is so good about the priority areas that have been identified for the Pact of the Future and future generations is that they rhyme with our Vision 2063. And there's also the SDGs are still relevant. They're still part of the Pact for the Future.
The co-facilitators of the UN Summit of the Future are Germany and Namibia. Germany Ambassador to Malawi, Ute Konik, said this would be an opportunity to encourage member states like Malawi to speed up 2030 agenda implementation through enhancement of digital space.
A big issue of the agenda will be a recommitment to the values and the multilateralism of the United Nations system, to the UN Charter, to international law, to the pillars of the United Nations.
United Nations Country Coordinator Rebecca Adadonto underscored the importance of the meeting, which she says will enable Malawi to speak with one voice at the summit.
So as UN, we are accompanying government, and that's why we've worked with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to have this multi-stakeholder consultation, so that it's not just government of Malawi voice, it is all of society, all of Malawi voice, contributing to the Pact of the Future.
Minister of Youth and Sports, Uchizi Nkandawire, and Education Minister Madali Tsokambawa Wilima were in attendance to make their contributions.
The Electricity Supply Commission of Malawi, ESCOM, has sourced $120 million to commence maintenance of 132 kV power lines from wooden to steel poles. Minister of Energy Ibrahim Matola disclosed this during a press briefing in Mzuzu. He said the line from Salima, Kotakota to Chinteche has been the main reason behind blackouts in the northern region. Now Hassan Piri reports.
The Salima Kotakota Dwangwa to Chinteche 132 kilovolts line has been causing unnecessary blackouts, affecting all the districts in the northern region and some parts of the central region. Minister of Energy Ibrahim Matola states that government intends to change the wooden poles in the eastern 132 kilovolts backbone line to a steel line so that they increase the capacity from 30 megawatts to 200 megawatts. Matola said the improved ESCOM infrastructure will enhance business activities in the mining, agriculture, education and healthy sectors, among others.
Coming in with this transmission line, rehabilitating and changing everything into modern, it's a great achievement. And it's a great vision of His Excellency Dr. Lazarus Macarthur Chakwera that the people of the North should not have disturbances in the transmission lines of power.
Chief Executive Officer for ESCOM, Kankwamba Kumwenda, said the European Union-funded project will officially start on the ground soon after approval by Parliament and conducting of a feasibility study and the procurement process.
As ESCOM, we can't able to supply power to the northern region because on a quarterly, fortnightly basis, we have to maintain the line, so it's costly. So the main aim of the project is to construct a new defense line on steel towers from Central Region up to Sintete. We believe that this is twofold. It's going to help us evacuate more power to the region.
ESCOM officials have also stated that the project will create an environment that will enable Malawi to connect with the eastern power pool in Tanzania and reduce the maintenance cost the utility body incurs every fortnight on the line. Hassan Piri, MBC News, Nzuzu.
The Ministry of Agriculture has affirmed the government's commitment to implementing policies aimed at enhancing agricultural productivity and boosting the country's economy. Minister of Agriculture Sam Kawale made the remarks in Lilongwe during the 24th Annual Regional Multi-Stakeholder Policy Dialogue of the Food, Agriculture and Natural Resources Policy Analysis Network. More in this report compiled by Madalitso Mhango.
Speaking at the 24th Annual Regional Multi-Stakeholder Policy Dialogue of the Food, Agriculture and Natural Resources Policy Analysis Network, FANPAN, in Lilongwe, Minister of Agriculture Sam Kawale emphasized the need for robust policies to address climate variability and other agricultural challenges facing the nation. Kawale therefore highlighted the need to invest in irrigation projects to improve food production.
Food systems to be well implemented or for people to understand how it works, there's need for government to come in and come up with policies that work hand in hand with other development partners. So as a country, Malawi, able to host it this year, it will help us not just to share what we are doing in terms of policies in the country, but also what our neighboring countries are doing.
Food, Agriculture and Natural Resources Policy Analysis Network, FANPAN, Chief Executive Officer Chiridzi Madzivandira, underscored the importance of adopting climate-smart agriculture practices and addressing malnutrition.
The first challenge that we are dealing with is climate change, where we are implementing programs that are dealing with climate-smart agriculture. This is to ensure that under crop production systems, those production systems are adaptable. And our livestock systems, we are making sure that we are reducing greenhouse gas emissions. And thirdly, we are ensuring that we are building resilience. The second challenge is about dealing with malnutrition, where we are ensuring that agriculture as much as producing food.
Board chairperson for the Civil Society Agriculture Network, CSANET, Hilbert Jagona, says the dialogue serves as a valuable platform for researchers and scientists to share knowledge and best practices to improve the agricultural sector.
Every country has its own challenges, but when you look at disasters, they don't look at boundaries. We all have common issues, and we are sharing these issues. So the common ones are really food shortages. The cyclones are affecting every country, and the way we used to produce food in the past is not the way we are doing it now. Food is becoming very scarce. So we should be linking everything to climate change.
The 4-day meeting aimed at facilitating the exchange of knowledge among policymakers, researchers, and the private sector. Madalitso Muhango, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Now, Malawi First has announced a suspension of demonstrations against tax stamps. This follows discussions between Malawi Revenue Authority, Malawi First, and small business representatives. Malawi First Group organized protest against MRA's implementation of tax stamps, saying it impinges on small-scale businesses. However, according to Kalindo, the issue has been resolved, hence cancellation of the demonstrations. Kalindo and Owen Bello, representative of small-scale businesses, explain.
Very, very happy that this morning we had a meeting with MRA where we presented a number of issues, including the tax systems. And we have agreed that this is to be put on hold up until we have a meeting together with the minister, and that every time when these people are crossing the border, they should not have challenges, because it is there, this tax stamp is there as an identification to identify someone who has followed the law, who has crossed the border, not those that are trying to run away from using the border. So it's there to punish those people, not a good citizen who has managed to to pay duty, to pay everything at the border. So we are very, very happy that we have achieved what we wanted, and we will be going home a happy group, and that we have also suspended the demos that we were aimed at going to MRI offices.
Our prayer is that they have to listen to our cry. That's our biggest prayer. They have temporarily suspended, but our biggest prayer is that they have to listen to our cry. At least they have to not suspend this, but they have to withdraw the whole issue. That's our cry.
In his remarks, MRA spokesperson Stephen Kapoloma says he is happy that Malawi First Group has understood the importance of tax stamps that seek to protect small businesses from unfair trading on the market by smugglers.
There was a misunderstanding that the tax stamp is a tax. It's not a tax. It is a symbol that you are compliant. So the people that come through the border and they have paid taxes, they're supposed to be issued with the tax stamp. So most of them, and even when they are speaking to you, you will see that they will be talking of tax stamps as a tax, but it is not a tax. A tax stamp is just a tool for compliance, making sure that those that have paid taxes are distinguished from those that have not paid tax. We are doing this because there's a lot of smuggling taking place in Malawi, and because of that sort of smuggling, you will notice that our small businesses are finding it hard on the market because they are competing with those that have smuggled goods into the country. So we are bringing tax stamp as a sign that these are goods that have gone through the normal process and taxes have been paid. And that's one thing that was not very clear to them, and we have made it very clear that this is a symbol against smuggling. And that's one thing that we have agreed, that all of us do agree that tax stamps has the power to deal with issues of smuggling.
You're watching MBC News with me, Kingsley Mtila, and my sign language interpreter, Linley Mponda. Remember, you can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. A reminder of our top stories. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera inaugurates Creator Building with renewed hope that the center will conduct relevant research that provides solutions to Malawi's health challenges. Malawi First suspends planned demonstrations against tax stamps. And government formulating a child labor policy aimed at addressing emerging challenges affecting children.
Sokoma zathu ku Maranatha sizikuteleke. Titatsekula Maranatha Capital Girls Academy, makolo munalankhula tinamva. Munati mukufuna sukulu yapamwamba ku Capitolo ya Anyamata, ndiye tadza nayo tsopano. Maranatha Capital Boys Academy, malo ake ndi abwino kwambiri, 50 km kuchokera ku Lilongwe, pamponera penipeni paja panali mbole motel. Chakudya ndi hotel standard. Kukamba za maphunziro mukudziwa kale inu yonse limaphweketsayi. Funsani ku university iliyonse ya mdziko muno mukamva kuti hafu ya ana kumeneko anachokera ku Maranatha. Izizi sizomaganizaso kawiri katatu. Leloli imbani foni pa 0888 993 232 0993 832 832 kapena 0991 276 273. Anyamata onse ofuna kupita ku university chaka chamawa akukhamukira kumene kuku ku Maranatha Capital Boys Academy, chifukwa tupaja zikakanika kwenaku ukuku ku Maranatha zimatheka.
Are you aware of the Nkhani funeral plan? With just 5,000 kwacha per month, you're covered for unlimited services of up to 800,000 kwacha on standard cover. With 7,000 kwacha per month, you get unlimited cover of up to 1.5 million kwacha on executive cover. And if you manage your contribution on both platforms, you get a cover of 5 direct family members. All this eligible to both family and individual cover. Keep calm, Nkhani. This policy is underwritten by Life Insurance Company. With Goodwill Services, you have a chance of affording your loved one a respectful farewell, selected from our wide range of products befitting your wish. Call us or visit to see the wide range of state-of-the-art products fitting the loss of a loved one. In Blantyre, we're situated off Kapini Road, at Kamba, after Naperi Bridge. In Lilongwe, we're in Area 4, next to Kamzu Central Hospital Roundabout, or visit any Life offices near you. Goodwill Funerals Limited, your umbrella during the time of grief.
Welcome to St. Peter's Private Schools in Imponela, where we prepare our students for the future with excellence, diversity and innovation. St. Peter's Private Schools in Imponela offers a wide range of academic programs that cater for the interests and abilities of our students. Our teachers are qualified, experienced and dedicated to helping learners achieve their goals. We have 3 schools under St. Peter's Private Schools. We have a primary school, boys secondary school and a girls secondary school at your disposal. Science and technology are crucial in today's world. We have audio visual learning facilities, state-of-the-art laboratory and a modern and well-equipped library. At St. Peter's Private Schools in Imponela, we also celebrate our diversity and our culture. We also prepare our students for the next stage of their lives. So what are you waiting for? Join us at St. Peter's Private Schools in Imponela today and discover your potential. St. Peter's Private Schools in Imponela.
Welcome back. You're watching MBC News live from our Kwacha studios in Blantyre. Now, Minister of Labour Agnes Nyalonje says the ministry is working on the formulation of a child labour policy which will address all child-related issues, including eliminating child labour. Nyalonje made the remarks in Nchisi during commemorations of World Day Against Child Labour. Olive Pili reports.
The 2024 World Day Against Child Labour started with a solidarity march to Mbiedzigo Primary School ground, where the commemorations were held. World Day Against Child Labour is held to raise awareness on child labour issues in an attempt to end the malpractice. Speaking during the ceremony, Minister of Labour Agnes Nyalonje said that 8% of the children in the country suffer instances of child labour. According to Nyalonje, poverty, attitude and ignorance are some of the major factors that contribute to child labour. She said government is working towards ending child labour.
We have general policies that deal with these things in the workplace, the dangers to workers in the workplace. What we want is to attack particularly issues to do with children in labour. And that's one. But the other side to it is you can have the laws, but if you don't implement them, then there's nothing going.
Executive Council member of the Employers Consultative Association of Malawi, Ekam Ofanchirwa, said government must approve national child labor policy if child labor is to come to an end.
If the approval is granted, it means that it will naturally be a breach of the law, because now that will be taken as a role on the side of the government.
A representative from the International Labour Organization, ILO, Mishek Chirwa, has called for collaborative efforts among various stakeholders to effectively end all forms of child labour.
We have to recognize that every child has a right. It's a social right. Currently, we're advocating for a promotion of social justice. So it's everyone's right to not to be subjected to work that is over their age.
Statistics indicate that globally, 160 million children are engaged in child labour, with around 80 million being involved in the most hazardous forms of work. Olive Pidi, MBC News, Nchisi.
Now, patients on the waiting list to access orthopedic treatment at the country's referral Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital can now afford a smile following the opening of the refurbished Mafupa Theatre at the facility. Hospital Director Dr. Kelvin Mponda, speaking during the opening of the two theatres, commended AO Alliance and partners for pumping in over 100 million kwacha for the renovation of the facility. Blessings Kanache reports.
Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital Orthopedics Department is one of the busiest sections of the referral facility. Two of the three theatres stopped functioning due to its dilapidated state until AO Alliance and partners came to rehabilitate the facility. The facility has now been opened with a new look. Dr. Claude Martin is director of AO Alliance.
With us, the AO Alliance Foundation have been involved in Malawi in one form or another in education of fracture care since early 2010. And in 2015, we put together a needs assessment to see how we can improve the care of the injured in this country over the course of 5 up to 10 years. And one of the projects was these theaters, the Mafupa theaters, which came into effect in 2017. But over the course of the years, unfortunately, with some wear and tear and some lack of maintenance, the theaters lacked a little bit of what I would call tender loving.
Dr. Nohakera Nyamulani is head of the orthopedics department at Queen's and says the situation was bad before the Mafupa Theatre was rehabilitated.
In the outpatient department, we see about 600 to 800 patients per month, and out of those, about 300 require surgery, but we're only able to offer surgeries to about 80 to 100 patients per month. These are major orthopedic operations that involve musculoskeletal, mostly injuries, but as well there might be infections and some cancers that also affect the bones. The bulk of our work, I would say 95% of our work, is due to traumatic conditions.
Hospital Director for Queen Elizabeth Central Hospital, Dr. Kelvin Mponda, said apart from people injured in accidents such as Kabanza, motor vehicles and others, the theatres also operate on patients with other muscle and bone complications. He also warned against theft and vandalism of government property at the facility.
This is a very great day for us. Injuries and musculoskeletal disease forms a big chunk of the work that we do in the hospital. Some of the patients that stay the longest before they receive care are coming from orthopedics and department. And this is largely due to the increasing load of patients that come in, but also our lack of ability to cope with those numbers through reduced availability of space to do the operations. So when AO Alliance came in to first build the initial theatre, but also to renovate it, so that we improve on our ability to operate, you can imagine how happy we are.
The AO Alliance is a non-profit development organization dedicated to strengthening care of the injured in over 30 low and middle income countries in sub-Saharan Africa and in Asia. Blessings Kanache, MBC News, Blantyre.
And finally, in sports, First Capital Bank has spoiled FCB Nyasa Big Bullet squad and the technical panel with groceries from Chipiku stores in Blantyre as a reward for their outstanding performance last season, which earned them 4 trophies. In his remarks, FCB's head of marketing and communications, Twikale Chirwa, says the aim of the initiative was to thank the team for its achievement and to encourage their customers to use their digital facilities when making transactions. In his remarks, one of the players, Clyde Sanaji, commended FCB for the initiative, which he said will motivate them to work hard on the field of play.
As First Capital Bank, we would like to thank the FCB Nyasa Big Bullets squad. This includes the players, but also the technical panel. So as such, we thought it wise to reward each one of them with a token of appreciation. And today is a testament of that reward. But also, as First Capital Bank, we are partnered with Chipiku stores nationwide, whereby Chipiku is now using our POS machines. As such, we have also rewarded the T operators with a shirt which they'll be wearing every Friday. As First Capital Bank, we would like to thank the FCB Nyasa Big Bullets squad. This includes the players, but also the technical panel. So as such, we thought it wise to reward each one of them with a token of appreciation. And today is a testament of that reward. But also, as First Capital Bank, we are partnered with Chipiku stores nationwide, whereby Chipiku is now using our POS machines. As such, we have also rewarded the T operators with a shirt which they'll be wearing every Friday. First of all, I'd like to commend the leadership of the team and the sponsors for the good job they're doing. I think this goes a long way in motivating the players. They're also doing a lot of, not only players, they are transforming lives of people out there. So thumbs up for them.
All right, now breaking news coming in is that there was supposed to be a convention of the Malawi Congress Party that is from tomorrow up until Friday, and the news is that it's been suspended. What is the latest so far? I want to hear from you, Kumbukani Piri, one of our reporters here.
Yes, we're just getting news that there was an order from the Supreme Court of Appeal that the MCP convention had been suspended. Now the news that we're getting is that the MCP convention is proceeding as was earlier announced from tomorrow.
All right.
So that's what I can say right now. The convention is on.
Okay. Well, detail on that one will come through in our subsequent bulletin. That item also wraps up this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories. President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera inaugurates Creator Building with renewed hope that the center will conduct relevant research that provides solutions to Malawi's health challenges. Malawi First suspends planned demonstrations against tax stamps. And government formulating a child labor policy aimed at addressing emerging challenges affecting children. Well, for more on these and other stories, follow our online platforms, Facebook, X, and our website, mbc.mw. Remember, you can access all MBC digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. On behalf of the News and Current Affairs Department, my name is Kingsley Mtila, and Aline Lemponda was our sign language interpreter tonight. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.
Good evening, and it's time for the weather forecast. Locally, very cold weather conditions were there earlier this morning over Kamzasuni Airport, which had 9 degrees, around 10 over the Zabore recorded 12, so too Nkara Bay and Vumbwe while cool conditions were there over Nkhotakota with 16 degrees. We should expect locally cold and windy weather conditions tonight and during morning hours with partly cloudy and generally warm weather conditions later in the afternoon tomorrow, where winds continue blowing over the lake. Therefore, fishermen and lake users take all the necessary precaution measures. This all because we are getting cool and moist air from the Indian Ocean to Malawi, sustaining partly cloudy conditions here and there with mere winds over the lake and locally cold weather conditions tonight and during morning hours. So for tonight, clear skies with locally cold weather over the northern central and over the south. Wake up tomorrow, temperatures of around 17 degrees as a minimum temperature for lakeshore areas with more winds over the lake. Expect cold weather conditions with temperatures around 12 degrees over Longwe, Nchinji, Kasungu and over Dowa. More sunny skies expected during morning hours over northern central and lakeshore areas, partly cloudy over some parts of the south. Later in the afternoon hours, we should expect few clouds here and there, otherwise mostly sunny over southern areas, central and northern parts of Malawi. It will get hotter later in the afternoon over lakeshore areas with temperature around 30 degrees over Mangochi, Salima, Nkhotakota, Nkata Bay and over Kalonga, 33 over Ngabu and in Sanje. Expect warm weather conditions to persist over Nzuzu with 24 degrees. Looking further into Friday, we should expect cold weather to persist during morning hours over Palombe and Kasungu, cool weather conditions over Karonga with 18 degrees. Well, that's it for tonight. Keep warm and have a good night.